Warning. Geesebumps is a comedy podcast based on the works of R.L. Stine. Any similarity to an actual literature podcast is coincidental and unintentional. Listener beware, you're not in for a scare.
Samantha Bird is a klutz, an accident waiting to happen. She's the laughingstock of the girls' basketball team, and that mean, rotten Judith Bellwood is making her life miserable on and off the court. But everything's about to change. Sam's met someone who can grant her 3 wishes. For real. Too bad Sam wasn't careful what she wished for, because her wishes are coming true, and they're turning her life into a living nightmare.
Hoping it'd say a living hell.
Not the double.
Mr. Satan's gonna hate this.
Yeah, don't tell Satan. Geesebumps, a Did You Mean Goosebumps podcast. I'm Danielle. I have a PhD.
I'm JoJo, and I have a PhD.
I'm Jeff, and as a 36-year-old, I'm wearing way more polo shirts than 22-year-old me thought he would.
That's the thing about as you get older, you start realizing that you kind of want to make sure your shirt has a small spot for you to rest your chin.
Yeah, which is basically what like the collar's for.
What collar's for.
And it has 2 buttons, which the top you would never ever button. Who buttons the top button on their polo shirt?
Mormons.
Is it? Is that what it's for?
Sure.
Okay.
It's called the Mormon button.
Is it?
Yes.
Cool.
The Book of Buttons.
But like
hottest show in town.
It's a polo shirt is like, let's take a shirt, let's zhuzh it up a little bit, but not too much.
Just a little.
Listen, I'm never going to stop wearing t-shirts, but I could put a button on there that does nothing.
I will.
If you prefer.
Yes. It's professional now. You take a t-shirt, you put a collar, you put a button, professional.
Have you ever seen someone in a polo shirt with a tie?
Oh my God.
Embarrassing. Wait. For some reason, it's like, this is a little kid who fell into their parents' closet.
Jeff, put on a tie right now.
Jeff, go get a tie.
Put it on.
Go do it. Go get it. Go get a tie. Go get a tie.
Do it.
Go get a tie. Go get a tie.
Do it.
In this broken age we live in, I've burned all my ties.
I have one.
Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
I don't want to wear a tie.
Listen. The commitments to comedy that we have to make for this show.
I have a bow tie.
A bow tie is so tantalizing, but we're gonna have to use a regular one.
What event would you go to? I'm assuming some sort of
with a bow tie,
with a polo shirt and a tie.
Golfing?
Like what golf? Like where would you? Is that going to get in the way of my swing?
I don't know.
Because the wind's going to whip it around. It's going to hit me in the face when I'm trying to four.
I think the question is like, what purpose does a collar serve?
A polo?
On a polo if you're not wearing a tie. You know what I mean? Like now, Danielle has brought Jeff a lovely black tie for our black tie event podcast.
I think this is just my tie.
A little early for a Mai Tai, huh, guys?
Yeah, that's
boom.
Right.
Jokes.
So I haven't tied a tie in quite a while, so I'm gonna try and.
You have to get ready for Graham's funeral, young Twitter Jeff. Please put on your tie.
This is how you do it, son.
I didn't do it great because the skinny part's longer than the big part, but
well, now it's kind of like you're late for work, and you just kind of put that tie on in a hurry, and your boss is going to give you the nth degree when you're late with the numbers.
Oh my God, where is my phone?
Oh my God, this is so.
Pictures? No, pictures must be taken.
Yeah, you might notice a picture on our Instagram and Twitter on the Geesebumps Pod Instagram of Twitter Jeff wearing a polo shirt and a tie, and now you have context.
Yes. And this is the kind of quality content you can expect.
Yeah, this is the comedy content that you deserve on our podcast about a Goosebumps show. Make love to the camera.
That's right.
But like in a hurry love, because you got to get to bed.
Really, really putting on the Ritz.
Put it on the Ritz. Like peanut butter or ham.
all of the photos we just took, I have concerned look on my face, which is a look you'd have on your face when you're wearing a polo shirt with shorts and a tie and a baseball hat.
You're going to the fanciest brunch one can.
You are the most dad you can be.
When I go to the Denny's for an important meeting, I make sure But I put a tie on my polo shirt before I order my moons over my hammy.
Folks, that meeting was a grand slam.
Good God.
And I am moons over my hammy about it.
I am eggs over toast about it.
I am
makes
throwing
sense.
up in the bathroom. Did we mention the book we read?
No. So this week on Geesebumps, we read Goosebumps 12, Be Careful What You Wish For, originally released in 1993.
How many books did he release in 1993? Now, we did this at the behest of friend of the show and fellow content creator.
I really hate when people say content creator because it's like you're embarrassed of what you're making. Fellow comedian and podcaster Emma Hansey.
Well, now she's a streamer, so now we have a lot of different hats she's wearing.
She is wearing a lot of hats.
She's wearing a lot of hats,
But no tie.
Occasional Let's Play guest.
She also is on the podcast The Rules We Made. Get hype.
I have to just put out the disclaimer that this book raised a lot of memories for me. So there's going to be some junior high Danielle talk.
You know, if you respell the main character's name, it becomes
Danielle McManus, PhD.
Danielle McManus.
Oh,
PhD.
shit. Oh, God.
So who would like to begin with the 1 minute synopsis?
I'll do the 1 minute.
Twitter Jeff, I will put a minute on the clock, and it'll be the clock on my phone and not the computer because I'm not a monster.
Kim,
Care about time.
tell me when to go.
Tell me when to go. Tell me when to go.
Go.
And go.
So, Be Careful What You Wish For is the story of Samantha Bird, who is, for all accounts, this book should be about high school students, but it's about 12-year-olds. She is in junior high, and she is on the basketball team despite being bad at basketball and not wanting to be on the basketball team. She can't do math, basic math like 4 + 2.
She just messed up. Sorry.
And she gets made fun of by her basically her school bully, which is Judith. Judith is the best player on the team. Judith makes fun of her. Judith calls her names behind her back like Stork and tells her to fly away. Samantha is very angry and wants to strangle and literally inflict physical harm upon Judith. Samantha comes across an old woman who she helps, who says that she is going to give her 3 wishes. The first wish is that she wants to be the best player on the basketball team she's on, which then turns everybody else on the team into slugs of some sort. They basically cannot run or move. They are all very tired. She does the second
Time.
wish. Damn, that's barely anything.
damn.
Fuck, Danielle, you got to take the rest of it then.
Oh, okay. All right.
Producer Danielle,
I'm going to pick up.
are you ready?
Yeah.
You going to pick up where I left or start over?
I'm going to pick up what you
And
got.
Okay.
go.
All right. So she actually does strangle Judith, which is a really satisfying moment for me personally. And then she meets this old but also young-looking woman who just happens to be walking around in the rain while what's-her-face is riding her anger off. And then she grants the cloaked woman, she's wearing a shawl, the shawl woman, who calls herself the Crystal Woman or the Crystal Lady?
She doesn't call herself that, but
The
go on.
crystal meth gives her a wish. She says that, okay, yes. So what's her face walks crystal meth home.
We're not going to get to the end of this book in ours, FYI. Jojo, you're going to have to really pull it out on your 2 minute.
I'm shocked at this.
Danielle spent a lot of time on the shawl part.
So little happened in this book. You guys are really dropping the crystal ball on this one.
Okay. So she gets 3 wishes, and her first wish is that the basketball team thing that Jeff said, and then she tries to find the lady again, and somehow does, and she's like, undo this first wish, it was fucking bullshit, and then the lady's like, okay, fine, and then she's like, also gets a 3rd wish at some point.
That has to be time.
Time. It's
All
absolutely.
right, you're going to have to really pull this one out, Joe, because we focused on some of the more minute details and
We
not
have
the
a
overall.
fine eye for detail.
Crystal meth woman.
Crystal meth woman.
There's a lot of fucking pressure because, like,
You have to get to at least the middle of the book, which we did not get to.
okay, guys.
Second wish?
Hey, you know, if it's any consolation, this is one of the first ones we allowed people to read ahead on. So if you've already finished, Be Careful What You Wish For, you're probably in better shape than the 2 people on this show, possibly 3rd, because I read this morning.
My brains don't work. Everyone knows this.
Okay, and here we
Broad strokes.
Go. Be careful what you wish for is about Samantha Bird. She is a 12-year-old middle school student who is on the basketball team. She is constantly made fun of by Judith, who is basically her bully, makes fun of her because she's the tallest girl in her grade. She's very lanky. She's bad at basketball. She's okay in school, but she gets made fun of. What ends up happening is one day after school, she decides to kind of write off her anger. She finds a woman named Clarissa who is walking through the woods and is lost. She helps the woman named Clarissa get to where she has to go. Clarissa says, because of your kindness, I will offer you 3 wishes. And Judith is like, okay, fine, sure, I'll take them. And the first wish that she kind of asks to Clarissa is she wishes that she was the strongest person on the basketball team, which the next day she's kind of doubting that it's going to happen, but then she goes to the game and she finds out that all of the other girls are incredibly weak and slow. And as it turns out, she is now the strongest person on the basketball team, not because she's actually stronger, but because everyone was made weaker than her. They all get sick and start to fade away. She feels sort of guilty. She goes to visit Judith. The shapes is all right. And while she's there, Judith accuses her of being a witch because she had studied witches last year in social studies. And then finally she feels really bad. So then she goes to Clarissa shows up and is like, you didn't like your first wish? And she's like, no, now I wish that Judith would disappear. And the witch is like, Clarissa's like, okay, I'll do it. And so that wish comes to pass. And what happens is she just makes everyone everywhere disappear, I guess, because she didn't specify who Judith was. So she just made everyone disappear. And now she's stuck in a world all by herself. She's very scared. And she's like, dang it, now what am I going to do? And then Clarissa shows up one more time and is like, would you like another wish now? And she's like, yes, I wish that Judith, everything goes back to normal, but Judith thinks I'm the best person ever. And she's like, great. So now Judith becomes a stalker and is completely obsessive and follows her around and sneaks into her house and stuff. And finally, fed up with this behavior, she goes to Clarissa one more time and is like, can you please change the wish now to, I've never met you, but Judith did. And now instead of it being her meeting Clarissa, Judith met Clarissa, and Judith's wish was for Samantha to fly away, and she turned into a bird. The end.
That was
Did you do it under 2 minutes there?
Yeah.
that was
Wow,
pretty good.
good job.
That's tight.
Yeah. You everyone fucked up on the second wish part, but that's fine.
Well, that was the disappearing part. It disappears from your brain.
That was fine, but like the thing is, she didn't mean to wish that. That was an accident. She was like outside and she yelled it at the sky. She's like, I wish Judith would disappear. And Clarissa was just like,
Bing.
what's up, homie?
Got it.
Yeah. Nailed
She's
it.
like,
Jesus, did you know it was here?
Right? I guess you
Kill
didn't
her.
know.
This book is good because like it makes a promise in the start of like there's going to be some wish shenanigans.
Yeah.
And we get that in this book, and that's great.
this book is basically the monkey's paw. It's a
classic monkey's paw story from a high school girl's perspective, and in that sense, it's a very solidly told
It's a
story.
good monkey's paw. Are you afraid of the dark? Classic.
Yeah.
Bad wish.
Yeah.
Goodness.
and
It taught me an important lesson.
which was
I can
Yes.
turn Danielle into a bird with my mind.
Do it,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Watch, Danielle.
you didn't have to say anything. She just happened.
That's right.
Oh God, Danielle's a bird. Oh, she's flying to the other room. No.
Oh, she's gone.
Well, you know what? I left some crunch berries and some bird seed in the kitchen. So
Yeah.
I think she's just gonna nom on those for a while.
She's just gonna nom on the.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh God.
Oh god.
Well, how did you?
How do you
Is the-
always get in here when we turn our heads to the left and then back?
Is the window unlocked?
I came in through your vent. Have you seen that X-Files episode?
With a Victor Toombs episode?
Sure.
With the guy who's like a serial killer
Yeah.
worm monster who steals people's livers?
The worm monster, yes.
Okay.
He
Wow.
was my father.
Wow. Oh, that's where all the spookiness came from.
Yes.
Oh
ladies,
wow.
ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome to our show, once again, Robert Louis Stine.
I don't go by that name anymore.
Okay.
Oh?
Can you tell us your moniker now?
Since you asked politely, my name is Rockabilly Legs. Stine.
Rockabilly Leg Stein.
Yep, that's my name.
We refuse to wear that one out.
Oh, I'm crying.
Whew, okay. Okay, Rockabilly Legs.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's good that you're here. Is it good?
You know what?
Wonderful to be here.
Time will tell. The views and downloads will
The
tell.
views and downloads will tell us if this bit is worthwhile.
Oh my. Now there's pressure.
Yeah.
We have just concluded one of your finest works, Be Careful What You Wish For.
Yes, one of my favorites. Yes.
And we were just kind of curious, because we're here shooting the stuff, and while other co-host Danielle is busy being a bird.
Yeah. Ironic.
Can you please tell us, what is this book about?
I'm so glad you asked, because you see, this book is one of my first attempts to really get into the psyche of children, to really climb into their bodies and move around.
Okay. This is okay.
Wearing the skin of a child, like some sort of suit.
The skin of a child.
You waited until what book is this?
12.
Book 12?
A full calendar year's worth of Goosebumps before you finally thought, I'm going to actually try to write this from the perspective of a child.
You don't blow your load all at once, all at the beginning.
That's true. I do it slowly over time, over a 12-month period.
Exactly.
That's horrible. I feel I should censor it.
No, not again.
So, okay, you're a bird. So this is the first book from the perspective of a child.
Yes.
That is written specifically to embody that voice.
Yes, I'm very interested in how children, as they are growing and becoming, say, approximately 12 years old, they start to have some agency in the world, you see. However, they remain quite stupid. They don't know how to handle this responsibility. So they want things to happen, but they don't think about the consequences because their brains are mush. They have not yet solidified into actual brains. So this is a parable. This is to teach middle schoolers that they should not pursue what they want because it's bad.
What should they pursue
It
instead?
doesn't seem like quite the parable I would take from this one.
They should shut the fuck up and go to bed.
Do you hate children,
Yes.
Rockabilly Lex?
I think that's why Rockabilly Lace consistently puts children in dangerous situations.
That's why I wear their skin.
Is it cathartic for you?
It's so good.
Oh God.
So you're saying that this book is an examination of the newfound agency that a middle schooler who is basically about to embark on that big, furry, smelly, pimply road of puberty that we all travel down.
Musky.
And at this point, they're just discovering that with this new body they have, there comes new responsibilities and new choices, and those have more weight than some of the more frivolous choices a child would have made
Yes,
in a
because
younger way.
they should learn from this book that they are not capable of foreseeing consequences.
Yeah.
They are stupid.
Despite the fact that they're so tall and they should be able to
She should
see.
be able to see, but she can't.
And thus, you must be careful what you wish for.
He gets it.
I get it.
Man, it's right in the title. I'm an
Right,
idiot.
yeah.
Why didn't I do 10 years of junior college instead of just 8?
Well, those two would have made a difference.
Well, Rockabilly Legs, we greatly appreciate your
Insights.
wonderful perspective on this beautiful novel.
Always
Be
love.
careful what you wish for.
The first from the mouth of Rockabilly Legs himself
To our ears.
The first book from the perspective of a child.
The first book in this children's horror anthology that's actually trying to be about children.
Finally.
Finally.
Yes, the time has come.
Well, Rockabilly Legs, I really appreciate you spending time with us, but I have called the police and they are towing your car right now.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, real quick before you go or are escorted away by the police, how do we turn Danielle back from a bird into a person? That wasn't explained in the book.
Because unfortunately, the book didn't get to that part.
You have to focus
Okay.
Okay.
and you have to wish
But I've
What?
this book. Oh.
on a star.
Oh.
So
Interesting.
it's daytime.
It's going to be kind of tough.
So you've got to figure out how to find a star in the
Okay.
daytime.
Well,
Then you focus.
Wait, R.L. Stine, would you be considered a star?
Oh, my boy.
Can we wish?
Oh, dear lad. Dear, wonderful lad. Bless you, my son. Yes, I am.
Okay.
well, could you please turn our co-host Danielle back from a bird, please?
Well, since she's my favorite, okay. Snip, snip. No more bird.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Farewell.
Bye.
Bye. And
Oh, dang it. He only half turned Danielle back. She's more bird than man.
Oh,
Still got
God.
wings. I'm an
Oh.
angel, baby.
All birds are just angels.
Listen, we all agree as a podcast. Listen, Geesebumps the podcast would like to submit the idea that all birds are miracles.
All birds are also surveillance devices by the government, also angels.
They're surveillance
They're
agents.
surveillance devices by God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're God's spies. You think that they're singing? They're not.
They do need batteries.
Where's they stop watching me in the shower?
They're singing like stool pigeons. You hear
To
me?
God.
To God.
God's the greatest mafia boss ever.
Yeah, he is.
I think that's the greatest trick the devil ever played. Well, that's enough blasphemy for this week.
No, there'll be more.
We sneak a lot of that into our podcast about Goosebumps.
Well, Jeff did have his rapture theory, so.
There's the rapture theory. Who would like to start off with a passage?
I'll go from the beginning.
Okay.
Now, and I chose the beginning for selfish reasons.
Excellent.
That's where I have most things highlighted.
That's how it goes with most Goosebumps
Yeah.
books. The later on you get, the less you seem to want to capture.
The beginnings are always, because you get these introductions to characters which are like so wacky at
Yes.
times
And
with
such
so many
weird details.
So many weird details. And in those introductions, I don't know if R.L. Stine thinks ahead about what the character is supposed to be like in the book. So the first part of the book is very much just like a snapshot of a day in the life for Samantha. So she's going to school. You're learning about her trials and tribulations. She is Job in some ways,
Waiting for her whale.
waiting for her whale of wishes. The wishing whale.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Chapter 1. It is like page 3. It's pretty early. Her early days.
Early days.
And
So this is in class.
Yes, this
So
is in class.
This book opens with Samantha in class getting picked on by Judith as she tries to just be in school.
It's the most grade school-esque stuff where she's called to the board to do a problem. She's getting tripped by her bully.
It sucks.
She's feeling embarrassed.
It really, really.
They really hit
Struck a
Danielle
nerve.
hard.
So just, she has a friend. Every character only has one friend ever, and her friend in this book is Corey.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah.
I know that name.
Hey.
Callback.
I wonder if there's an Anna.
So, and Corey is trying to make her feel better because Judith, her bully, says things like, "Why don't you fly away, bird?"
Which is the lamest.
Yeah. So she thinks that Corey's just trying to make her feel better and doing a lousy job of it because there's always got to be some tension between friends. Anyway, I gathered all my papers together and shoved them back into my notebook. Sharon asked me if I was okay. In parentheses, Sharon is my math teacher. We call all the teachers by their first names here at Montrose Middle School. What the fuck, dude? What?
Page 3 drops on us one of the most
Confounding?
buck wild details
Well, these
one
are-
could possibly imagine.
No follow-up. No follow-up.
No follow-up as to why.
No why? No class
This
reason?
fucking Montessori, like
Right?
fucking.
Magnet Montessori
So
school.
So yeah, okay. This is where we start. This is the world let's get it. All right, guys, thinking caps on.
All right.
We're about to embark on a literary adventure.
Yes.
They're in middle school.
The middle school jungle.
Yeah.
And her friend Sharon asks if she's okay.
Sharon.
Wait a minute, wait. What if Sharon was the teacher? Yeah.
Oh my
All right,
God!
think
You
about
just
it.
blew this thing wide
Okay,
open.
how are we going to distinguish from students and teachers then?
There should be no distinguishing.
We'll add one parenthetical,
All right, if you have to.
and that's it.
I don't feel like you owe anyone anything.
Question though, the principal. Do we call the principal by their first name as well?
No.
Absolutely not. Never.
Principal's name
No.
is Douglas.
What about the janitors?
They don't have names.
No
They
one.
don't have names. They're the invisibles.
They are invisible throughout.
These are 12-year-olds.
Hey, Sharon.
These are 12-year-olds who are being
what if you're okay? So like the thing about the last names,
they're being taught
yeah.
right now that it's okay for them.
Hey, adults are their equals, which
right.
goes in line with the original theory that Rockabilly Legs
right.
posited. This is about children realizing their adult agency. However, I will point out that last names imply authority.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine just randomly, Danielle just started strangling me. Just imagine it.
Yeah.
not that.
It's not that hard to
Not
imagine.
that hard. We've all seen her vision board. Oh no, Danielle, you better let Joe go. It's Craig.
Craig, someone go get Craig.
Get Craig, everybody.
Because-
we need an authority figure here.
Unless Sharon, your teacher, the math teacher, is the only Sharon at this school, there are no students named Sharon, then you potentially wouldn't run into any snafus regarding someone go get Sharon.
You just say teacher Sharon or kids Sharon.
No, because we have to remain equals on this plane.
There's no teachers. There's no children. There is
Okay.
one age.
You're right. You're right. Just
This is a Logan's Run middle school.
what about
If
Sharon?
you get too old, they banish you to the desert to return to the loam.
Sharon 1, 2, and 3?
No, because that still implies hierarchy. Do you think their grades are drawings?
Yes.
Dang it, I got turtles and math again.
A teacher draws how they think you did that year, and if they're killing you with an
I
axe.
got clown in history, but I got a B- in spelling.
Oh man, I got a pilgrim in home ec. My mom's gonna kill me.
What did we talk about, Jeff?
You guys know that this school has like they had a blackboard, but you know for sure like their desks were in a circle, right?
But it's so weird because nothing
If they
else
had them at all.
about the way they describe the school makes it seem like a new age type of school.
Otherwise, completely normal.
Just this one detail though
Yes.
of we call our teachers by their first name.
But not
no
the principal.
reason.
They call the principal Mr. Whatever.
It serves no point in the plot.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason.
It's just confusing because later on they're just like Lisa. I'm like, who the fuck is Lisa? And Lisa's another teacher later
know,
on.
yeah.
And there's 3 or 4 teachers they mention, and I can't. It's
But they're all our equals.
That's right.
my brain can't distinguish.
The teachers aren't our guides. They are our comrades in
Yes.
learning.
They're our brothers in arms.
Yes.
And that's why these children are so fucked up, because they don't know the difference between kid and adult.
They don't know the difference between kid and adult, up and down, hot and cold,
In and out.
up and down, wrong, right, black, white,
Burger and King.
fight, make up,
Pepsi and Coke. Yeah.
That's an awful existence.
Pepsi or Coke. Yes.
Exactly.
No restaurant on the planet Earth allows you to do that.
So yeah, it's such a weird detail at the very beginning that actually has zero bearing on anything in the book.
It doesn't matter that they all go by their first name.
And honestly, it makes you do a double take every time you read the
name.
first name of a teacher because you're like,
Because they don't call their mom and dad or other outside parents.
they call them Mr. and Mrs. Well, they called Judith's mom. They refer to as Mrs.
Bellwood.
or Mrs. Bellywood once.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's a buck wild choice, but it definitely sets the tone that these are a bunch of pampered, spoiled rich kids.
I also want to say, Flyaway Bird.
Snowflake generation, huh?
Yeah,
Tell me about it with their
their schools
and their
names.
the lamest insult. Flyaway Bird is terrible. You would get beaten up for saying that.
So in addition to the scene where Jeff brought up of the parents having the same name, there's also we get to see how Judith specifically picks on Samantha, which is on page
Which right, it's the same page
it
actually.
starts right quick.
page 2, where she says, why don't you fly away, Bird? Because Samantha's last name is Bird. She's very lanky.
Zing!
She grows up to be Sweet D. She grows up to be Sweet D.
Brienne of Tarth.
Yes.
She's very
Brienne
Yes.
of Tarth teeth.
Brienne of Tarth T. And yeah, the insult that Judith throws Sweet D's way is fly away, Bird.
Right?
And because her last name's Bird,
Oh, you cut me to the
she's
quick.
bird-like.
yeah.
Oh, I'm wounded.
They can't do the real insults that children would throw at each other.
which would be
in this book, which would be slurs
censored.
and censored.
Slurs and censoring.
things that,
Just not even like slurs, just like hurtful.
yeah.
Like, you're going to die alone.
Exactly. Now, kids are way better at insults than Flyaway Bird. Have you ever been on a gamer chat?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's middle school.
Yeah.
It's like, just going to try my best at algebra here. Your parents pretend to love you.
What's the equation for this?
Right?
How do I solve for love?
I added 4 and 2 wrong.
Oh, God. No
put-
love for me.
I put down
You know
5.
what that means? That means that when you grow up, the best job you're going to get is janitor.
Yeah,
God.
I bet your feet are ugly. that's me trying to be a middle schooler, you can see the difference.
Danielle really quickly walked that back to being in
I mean,
character.
you could just. You could, I mean,
Danielle's like, these kids don't know insults. Your feet are ugly. That was an example.
that was the format we're going for.
That's what my mom
All
told
right,
me.
okay, guys.
All right.
Let's
I'm focused.
let's work on this. Let's work on this. Let's insult someone's TikTok. How would you insult someone's TikTok?
Okay.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
You call that a dance? All right.
Yeah. That actually is the length of a TikTok video itself.
Yeah.
That insults.
All right, now Jeff, go ahead and insult someone's TikTok. We're in our 30s, so this is fun.
Yeah.
Have you even listened to WAP? Ugh.
You sing like my butthole.
That was pretty good. Hey, good job, squad.
Yeah.
We did it.
Someone out there.
Hey, everyone who needs to make fun of other people's TikToks derisively like middle schoolers.
Bring it in.
You can, hey,
Yeah.
high five, huh, guys?
Yeah.
You did it.
Oh, we're getting good at this. Like when I was in middle school, I can remember being like, they'd make fun of your hair. One kid made fun of the way that I crossed my legs when I sat down.
They made fun of how I walked because I have a pretty bouncy walk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you do have a bouncy walk. You have a walk.
Fucking kill you.
Stop strangling Jeff! Stop strangling Jeff!
Oh shit, Todd's coming.
Watch out!
Oh, I got called Forrest Gump a lot because I like to run.
Wow.
Run, Forrest, run!
I remember
You
that.
get that a lot.
Oh God.
Even if you were running, not like
If you are in middle school or know someone of that age, ask them the horrible shit that they have to do.
I'm
That's what I
curious what
wanna
kids
know.
say to each other now.
What are today's insults?
Smarty bumps out there with young smarty bumps and growth. Here's what you need to know. If your kid doesn't come home crying at least once, they're the villain.
Yeah, they're the bully.
Every child is at least the villain in some other child's life.
Yes.
That's just a fact.
I don't think I was ever successfully a bully.
Not for lack of trying. That was a lovely passage, Twitter
Thank you.
Jeff.
I have one more from the beginning. I know we
Okay.
spent a chunky time on that one,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I've got another.
I don't know.
This is chapter 2, but it's near the end of chapter 2. So first chapter, we feel bad for Sam. Chapter 2, things pop off. They're in home ec. It's a later class, and the home ec teacher is Daphne. Just
And don't forget the body shaming that
They do
happened.
body shaming.
do-
That she has a bunch of chins, and they say like
she's wide.
She's fat.
And she eats all the failed bakery.
Yeah. So she says she makes us bake stuff so that she can eat it, and then also she goes off to say like, and we don't make anything that wouldn't be good for anything other than dog food.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she doesn't
So
even
it's like
discriminate.
horrible.
So she's a
rude.
fat piece of shit, everybody.
that
That's
is
what R.L.
exactly-
Stine. He does that honestly though. In every book he writes, he literally
There is a bit of
there's a lot
body
of body
shaming,
shaming.
fat shaming.
So much body shaming.
Every
always.
book has some body shaming.
It's a little bit.
So anyways, they're working on making some tapioca pudding. Judith is walking over with her bowl of tapioca and spills some on Sam's brand new blue Doc Martens.
Which mad respect.
Mad respect. Oops, she said. That's all.
All berries. Oh, sorry.
Just oops. I looked down at my brand new shoes covered in gloppy yellow pudding, and that's when I lost it. I uttered an angry roar and went for Judith's throat. I just reached out both hands and grabbed Judith by the throat and began to strangle her. I mean, they were brand new shoes. Judith started struggling and tried to scream. She pulled my hair and tried to scratch me, but I held onto her throat and roared some more like an angry tiger, and Daphne had to pull us apart.
She snaps, man.
She goes wild.
She goes, why? Like, not only she roars twice, she's like, ah! And then
She hulks out.
She hulks out. Then she screams again like an angry
That's
tiger.
the secret, Judith. I'm always buck wild. I feel bad for my girl Sam.
Yeah.
Me too.
But at that particular moment, I was like, that went from 0 to buck wild pretty darn
And
fast.
she's physically daunting to everybody.
She's the biggest.
She's the biggest person in her
She-
class.
She has coordination issues.
Yeah.
But she's not
got
lacking in
size.
power.
Yes.
No.
So she literally tries to kill. She tries to kill Judith. And in fact, if Daphne, her homegirl Daphne hadn't been there to break it up, Judith would be dead. There was one teacher away from this being a Fear Street entry.
But that just, well, reading that section, it reminded me that like at that age, that's when hormones start to kick in a little bit.
Because I remember being a kid and I would get shoved around in the middle school. And I remember one time I got shoved pretty bad and I got so mad I turned into a lake monster.
Oh.
Because of my hormones. So I get it, Jeff. Like my hormones said,
Did you attack?
I did attack. And it was really easy because as a lake monster I had a super long neck and fins.
Fuck yeah, and teeth, right?
And
Nom,
yes.
nom, nom, nom.
And I slammed into him and I sunk a boat.
Yes, drag him down.
And then I hid in Lake Tahoe. I'm Tessie.
Lake Tahoe is actually very nice. I've scuba dived it. It's
And they
very
do
pretty.
have a rumored cryptid
And they
called
do
Tessie.
absolutely have a Joe Tessie.
So Danielle, what movie monster did you turn into while getting picked on?
I turned into a rabbit and huddled in the corner hyperventilating.
Yes. Fearsome.
Quite.
I'm gonna
I was.
You're gonna be on the you don't want to be on the business end of this panic attack.
I will fucking run away from you.
I'll avoid your eye contact so hard.
No, and that's why I have so much pent-up rage, because it's like I look back
You never got to explode.
and I never got to go off on these assholes.
And you
it's
never
just-
and you never
And I
will.
never will.
You never
Danielle,
will.
you know what?
worst.
When the schools open up again, Danielle, we'll take a field trip to the local elementary, and I will say you can beat up one child.
Point them
Who's
out.
the biggest fucking bully in here? Because I have a 30-year-old woman who's gonna fuck you right up.
So yeah, that's my section.
I can do the middle. Primarily because this is where the wishing starts.
Yes. So after this opening part where we find out that she's getting really picked on a lot, she encounters Clarissa, and she's nice to Clarissa, and Clarissa says, "I'll grant you some wishes." So the middle part of this book is wish-based monkey's paw shenanigans.
Yeah.
She finds Clarissa, who explains it all.
Thank you.
God damn it.
Thank you. That was my thought too. Like Clarissa.
Yeah,
like
whenever I
these-
see, I've
She's
never
gonna
met a
explain.
Clarissa in real life.
But when I do think of someone who would know a lot about growing up, Clarissa pops right to
She
mind.
knows
She-
everything.
That's a generational thing.
It is. Yeah.
So what passage do you have for us, Danielle?
Okay. Well, this is not a wish passage. This is slightly post first wish, where she has wished that she was the strongest player on her basketball team.
Yes.
And now she's consumed with doubt as to whether or not this
She's responsible.
yeah, or whether this has taken effect at all. This is pre-game.
What chapter are we on, or page? Do you know?
Towards the beginning of chapter 7. They're sitting down, they're eating. Her brother Ron makes a crack and thinks he's a riot, which is R.L. Stine's favorite phrase.
If you if you look up the word riot in any of these PDFs, you'll find it 800 times.
Yes, it is absolutely the thing that I've never heard anyone else in life say ever.
Yeah.
And Mom is talking, and it starts when she looked away. I fed Pumpkin. There's a dog. He doesn't matter. He doesn't come up in any way.
Every kid has a dog.
Yeah.
But there's a dog. And this is where I think we get to the psychological center of this book. Mm-hmm. Are there more meatballs? Dad asked. He knew there were. He just wanted Mom to get up and get them for him, which she did. Can you imagine the pent-up rage that must live in the mother and then probably picked up by the daughter?
So by that,
Generational
okay, so what
rage.
I'm seeing and hearing then is in this Goosebump book, our hero, Samantha,
Yeah.
is so she's just a boiling mass of anger
She is
at
sitting on a
everyone and
volcano.
everything. You know there's more meatballs.
Fuck you, Dad. They're bullied by their dad. You see, this is meant to show us that there's a bully in the house and it's Dad.
Or it's meant to show us that Samantha might have a bit of a little self-care she needs to execute.
She's not being shown good emotional management.
That would be like you go to the store and you're like, do you guys have any steaks? and then the clerk's like, You knew we did. How dare you?
You just wanted me to go get them.
You fuck.
Get the fuck out of my raise the broom and run
I'm
at
so
him.
busy with this sweeping broom.
And I'm about to kill
I'm
you.
about to bop you with
Yeah,
this sweeping.
yeah.
How dare you ask me to do my job?
Yeah, you think I work for you? I don't fucking work for you.
What does this say? This says Aldi.
Yeah.
And that means only one thing. I do work for Aldi's groceries.
Exactly.
Not
None
for
of
you.
these people.
Fucking, I can't. I gotta take a 10. I am so steamed.
Yeah, go walk it off,
with
buddy.
you guys. With
Go
you,
to the break room.
So I'm gonna go to the punch-in freezer.
There- yeah,
And
punch-
I'm gonna
punch freezer,
It's not
punch
a
it.
walk-in freezer.
It's a
There's
punch-in
hanging beef
freezer.
there for punching my
Yes.
anger away, for having to help these customers who act like I got the time to know where the steaks are.
You know how I
They're
got
in the freezer where I'm punching.
I'm sorry. Did someone call security? We got an unruly customer asking about steaks.
Yeah, get him out. Get him out.
All right, Mary. Okay, no, get on the floor. Get on the floor now.
Get your taser. Get your taser.
Can't believe you asked for steaks. You don't move.
Calm down.
I said don't move.
He asked for steaks.
Every night at the birdhouse.
So she's really going through it.
Shit, look, what we're trying to get at here is Samantha
She's got deeply rooted psychological
got some issues.
It
issues.
starts at home, folks.
It does.
It starts at home.
It does.
Horror
And
starts in the home.
Here's the question that I want to pose to both of you. If you were Judith and you wanted to be the strongest player on your basketball team, how would you phrase that wish?
You mean it for Sam?
Yeah, because if we're Judith, I would just
Yes.
be it because I'm
Sam.
fabulous.
Okay.
I meant Sam.
So if
I'm
we were
beautiful and I'm powerful.
yeah, fuck it. She's
I'm a goddess.
I had one
Sam.
of those.
Do you want to read the question that she asks?
No.
phrase?
Let's go down this
This one?
particular
Okay.
path. So how would I phrase the question?
How would you phrase it to get what you want and not get fucked?
I would like to be really good at basketball.
I, as wish granter, would then make you good at basketball only when you play by yourself or basketball video games. You were not specific. Jeff.
I would like to be. Wait, hold on, Jeff. Okay, your turn.
All
You're
right.
trying to solve this.
How do I?
wish.
So I have to phrase my question in a way.
This
that's
isn't
not
totally related to the passage, but we're just gonna have
fine.
fun with this one for a second.
I would like to be as good. I would like to have as I would like my basketball playing skill level. I would like that to be on par with Michael Jordan, the professional NBA player.
Oh, then Michael Jordan starts sucking ass, and then you're as good as
God
him.
damn it!
shit.
Same thing.
Damn it. Okay, wait. Okay.
She got me.
Shit. Okay, okay. I would like
Jeff
To
has
be-
his hands on his head.
at least
Thought I had it.
I would like to have physical and mental strength and coordination of an Olympic athlete who plays live action basketball in the modern Olympics circa 1996.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Fuck me over now.
I will. So, so in order to achieve that, I send you back to 1996, and you can.
Which is in the near future.
In this book, in the now times.
I'm gonna send you back to whenever you say, and then that person's gonna suck.
Damn it.
Yeah, you got fucked over.
Damn it.
Really, you can't do it can't be a comparative
Cannot
thing.
be a comparison.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be its own.
Your turn. Your turn.
Okay,
It's fucking hard to
Yeah.
get wishes.
I think based on the rules that this book sets forward, as far as how
Cannot
they
get a
tweak.
okay, wait. I wish that the game of basketball's rules were changed such that I am the best player at live action basketball.
Okay. And then it's gonna turn into if everyone plays like you, it's gonna be everyone just throwing balls up in the air.
Ah, damn it. Yeah, you're right. Now I'm just like the worst person at being bad.
It's basically like you just turn basketball into Calvin ball.
Shit.
But yeah, no, there's really no winning in this scenario.
No
because
winning for wishes.
There's no limits on Crystal Meth Lady and how she can interpret your wish.
Yeah.
Like she's so Sam. Really, we can't shit on Sam too much. She
Well, I'm tasked with the grim work of this is chapter 16. In this portion of the book, Sam's first wish has gone through with Clarissa having made the entire basketball team very weak and sickly. And it is at this point that Sam, disbelieving that the wish is totally responsible for this, decides to go visit Judith at her home, which is amazing that she knows where Judith lives, but whatever.
Also knows her phone number.
Well, knows her phone number, yes. Well, probably for study.
Your villain. You know your villains.
Everyone knows where their villain lives.
Yeah.
So she goes to go visit. She goes into her room and she goes, "How are you feeling?" And then Judith goes, "What are you doing here?" She asks coldly. "Riding your bike in this cold?" And then Sam goes, "I just wondered how you were." And then Judith goes, "Why don't you just fly away, bird?" Sam goes, "Huh?" And then comes the greatest couple of paragraphs in all of writing. Judith goes, "You are a witch, aren't you?" I couldn't believe she was saying these things. "You did cast a spell on us. I know it." And then Sam goes, "Judith, please." And then Judith says, "We did a unit on witches in social studies last year. We studied spells and things."
If you connect that to the first names of teachers at this school,
That actually adds up.
Yeah.
I didn't connect that.
Like
that's
if
the
you're,
only thing
because
that makes
that's
sense.
the real thing, right? You're like, what fucking school would let kids learn about a school where all the teachers go by first name?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. It's just so buck wild that what are the chances that this girl Judith would piece together that Sam had to be responsible for this malady that the basketball team had just by virtue, like, because you didn't get sick, you did it.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think that this is a reference, obviously, to the Salem witch trials, which those
The
accusations...
Sam witch trials.
The Sam witch trials, the accusations all came from like pre-adolescent girls. So this is another demonstration of why children are not good at things and should not be allowed to have any kind of
That's
agency.
true. It's also proof positive, I think, that there's no logical reason for these characters to not like each other. They just do.
Yeah.
And this is one more instance of us going like, who's our hero here? Like,
Yeah.
who am I supposed to feel
rooting for?
bad for here? Who am I rooting for? Because on the one hand, I mean, yes, Sam did do this.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it's kind of like, I came to visit you.
Right?
That's kind of, so it's kind of like when I would come over here to this place and I open the door and I'm like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And you guys would say,
Witch!
You're opening the door too hard and breaking the window. Witch!
It's
And
true,
I'm
though.
just like, "Guys, what are you talking about? I just came to see how
Burn
you do."
the
They're
witch!
like, "You're a witch. We're gonna burn you." Last year we did a unit on how you keep opening the door too hard.
Burn the witch! Burn the witch!
Here's the part that's wild, though. It's not that the accusation that she is a witch. It's the "aren't you?" Because that means that prior to this, Judith would have had conversations where maybe Sam's a witch. Like, guys, seriously.
This was the final nail in the
wait, guys,
coffin.
guys. No, but that's the thing, right? Like, Sam's got to be a witch, right? And then Judith's like, "No."
But how could she possibly be so clumsy if she's not a witch?
And it's kind of like the "aren't you" is almost like Judith is coming to that conclusion now in this moment of, "I never believed it, but you are a witch, aren't you?"
She's been sitting on that.
All these discussions we have on, I mean, yes, you're clumsy and bird-like, but I never would have thought you to be in league with Mr. Satan. So the other passage I would like to bring up. The first wish takes up a good chunk of this book, and then the other two wishes are very, very quick. Now, the third wish is the one that is sort of the wildest.
The creepiest.
I want everything to go back to normal, with the exception that Judith thinks I'm the greatest person in the world, which causes Judith to become completely obsessed with Sam.
Which she tagged on. She didn't have to tag that last part
I
on.
just said I want things to go back to normal.
And then it was
Well
like,
alone.
dash, pause.
So the whole day, Judith is like
Worshipful.
Simping.
I want everything back to normal, but I would like Judith to be a straight up simp for me.
My simp.
If they updated this book again, R.L. Stine would sneak in that.
I live streamed and Judith was the only one in chat.
You're so great. That was a great shot.
Here's some bits.
Oh, you respond. It's good. You respond. You're fine.
So,
Love you.
so the whole day that's happening. Sam goes home. She has dinner. She goes to bed. And then while she's in her room, end of chapter 24 and beginning of chapter 25. So it goes.
Close to the end.
For a while, I lay staring up at the ceiling, watching the shadows of the tree outside my window wave back and forth. Then I heard the floorboards creak. Opening my eyes wide, I saw a black shadow move against the darkness of my closet. I uttered a choked cry as I realized that someone was in my room. Before I could move, a hot, dry hand grabbed me by the arm.
That's hot.
That's hot. Judith, what are you doing here? This is page 114. I managed to cry, finding my voice. Judith says, your back door was unlocked. I hid in the closet to wait for you. I guess I fell asleep for a while. But why? I demanded angrily. I pulled myself up, lowered my feet to the floor. What do you want? And her smile faded and her mouth formed a pout. You said we could study together. Oof. She said in a little girl voice. So I waited for you, Sam.
This would be so triggering for so many people.
Me especially.
Yeah.
'Cause I hate baby voice. and then this was the last straw. Get out, I cried. But why? You said we'd study our algebra. I did not. Anyway, it's too late. You have to go home. Your parents must be going nuts about you. Then she shook her head and she's like, I snuck out. But that's so great that you worry about my parents. You're so considerate. So
This made me uncomfortable reading this whole
so-
part.
Here's the great
this
thing.
made me so nervous.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is so fucked up.
This is the scariest part of the book.
Yeah, something about this is so unnerving.
Yeah.
I think part of what it is that it's the perfect inverse of what Sam had been doing to Judith before. There's like Judith puts her hand over Sam's mouth in bed. Sam thinks she's choking.
Yeah.
Which,
And then,
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it is actually like literally the polar opposite.
and then there's like the obsessive like following and stalking and like not fawning over, but like focusing.
Constant attention.
Constant attention.
Yeah.
And then there's the fact that she starts sneaking around.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of a nice reversal. So Sam now gets a taste of her own medicine.
Now she has all the power dynamic of all this attention.
Yeah, and she can see how awful it is when people obsess over you.
and that's
Which is true. That is one thing about Sam that we know is she's very obsessed with Judith and getting back at Judith. There's something so horrifically nightmarish.
Yes.
if you've had anybody like that in your life, this was a really hard passage to read.
Yeah, if there's, I'm sure there's smarty bumps out there who are been in relationships that are less than cool.
Yeah.
It's very, very much a fact, because as we grow older, the real horror stories end up being our day-to-day life. This part definitely clues you in, like, this is not healthy. You do not want this.
This is where the real scares are.
It does seem vaguely homophobic that this whole scene is like the scariest part is a girl who really likes you comes out of the closet in your presence.
Yeah. That's very particular.
Very specific, and that also kind of guy, like, I don't like that.
Well, and weirdly, when we were talking about it last night, because in the book earlier, they say all the kids were like snickering and laughing at what them happened during the day.
Very.
And in my head, I'm like, in real life, they'd be like yelling homophobic slurs at the two girls.
That's very much what would have happened here.
Yeah.
As a kid, maybe you'd clock that. As an adult, I'm like, this is super fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, everything about this situation makes me uncomfortable and feel gross. I don't know that scene would be chill today.
No.
No, it wasn't chill. It's
not
It's not
chill
even
then.
chill. Like, in that sense, like, this is super creepy and made me feel super bad.
Yeah. In outside the book, I kept thinking, what's the rest of your life going to be like?
Oh my God, I thought that too.
I was like,
good.
what? I was like,
I was so worried.
do you have to get married? Do you
will
have to
kill you.
I was like, or Sam kills Judith.
One of you is gonna kill someone's gonna kill.
I think that to me is, well, we know how the book ends
Yeah.
with basically after that, Clarissa explains it all. gives Sam a wish to get out of that.
Pity wish.
Yeah, a pity wish to get out of this. And really, what's R.L. Stine to get out of this horrifically nightmarish situation he set himself up with.
And
be careful what you wish
Sam
for.
learns nothing.
Learns nothing. Those are the passages that we got. I think now, though, because this book had a lot in it, and that's why we saved those sections for a little part of our adventure that we like to call, Can We Talk About It? Twitter Jeff?
Yeah. Can we talk about how Sam ignored all early red flags about wish making when the Crystal Lady's eyes literally glowed red when asking Samantha to make a wish?
Can we talk about how there is no way to say fly away bird in an actually hurtful way?
Can we talk about how she has the thought to rob the grocery store? But that would imply like there's someone to stop her from doing so. So it's just like going to the store.
Can we talk about how it took her all morning of her parents and brother missing, no students outside the school, no one in the hallways, for her to come to the realization that she was literally alone in the world?
Can we talk about the fact that her brother Ron is good at basketball for no particular reason?
Can we talk about how Ron is also described as being a nerd, but also just good at basketball again for some reason? Which is it, Ron?
Can we talk about the sheer number of important balls in this story? The dad, the mom makes meatballs. The dad wants balls. There's crystal balls. There's basketballs. I'm just saying this is balls galore.
There's a lot of balls in this.
There's a lot of important balls.
Can we talk about how Samantha is the worst player on the basketball team and doesn't quit the basketball team despite the fact that she also does not enjoy being on the basketball team?
No, is it? Can we talk about the fact that the entire reason she's on the basketball team is the PE teacher thought she was tall?
And the PE teacher is only teaching basketball for money?
Can we talk about how this school, in its new age thinking, is just putting any student on this basketball team without practice or tryouts simply because of their physical stature? That seems against the teachings of Montrose Elementary.
It is.
Can we talk about the fact that Corey's whole purpose in this story was to be at lunch? And then all he did was like eat her food and trade food?
Can we talk about the fact that he snubbed his grilled cheese sandwich? He was a fucking snot about having a grilled cheese sandwich every day that his dad made. And as Jeff brought up, if you don't like the grilled cheese sandwich, why don't you fucking make your own lunch? Why don't you just grab a fucking cupcake? I don't know. It's not that hard. And first of all, second of all, third of all, I don't know where I am. Old grilled cheese, still good grilled cheese.
Yeah.
I would eat it.
Can we talk about how everyone in this book is malnourished? Nobody eats anything. She doesn't eat lunch at any of her lunches. Her lunch is either snagged away and it's just chips. He never eats his grilled cheese, yet she's an athlete on a basketball team. Maybe you're not so good because you didn't eat anything for lunch today, Sam.
Can we talk about that when Judith is fully obsessed with Sam, she trades her a slice of pizza for a tuna sandwich that has half the tuna falling out? And that was like the closest to body horror I've ever experienced in one of these books.
Can we talk about how one of the misdirect endings of a chapter is Samantha mistaking her dog Pumpkin for her brother, who she just a moment ago angrily yelled out, wishing that he was a foot tall. Only to find
it's her dog.
It was a dog.
Can we talk about how that was the entire reason they decided to give her a dog?
Just for that one terrible
Just for that goof.
Can we talk about how no one owns a cat in any of these books?
Can we talk about how R.L. Stine hates cats?
Can we talk about how cats are witches? Can we talk about how Judith's friend is known specifically for putting on too much lipstick?
Dude.
Seriously.
It's so real,
Page
though.
103, Judith, what's your problem? Anna asked, applying the 20th layer of bright orange lipstick to her lips and chin.
But can we talk about how when I was in junior high, the girls, they just put on layers and layers and layers of mascara. That was the cool thing, so that they had tarantula eyes. And it never made sense to me, and it was awful, but they did it, and everyone thought it was great.
Can we talk about how unprofessional the nurse at this school is for breaking HIPAA and
Oh my God, thank you. I wrote that down.
And
I wrote that down like she broke HIPAA.
divulging the medical information for other students to another student.
Wait. What year was HIPAA? HIPAA would have been for 3 years. So actually, she broke HIPAA now. But at the time, she didn't break it yet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
90s, dude.
Can we talk about how bad privacy guidelines were in the 90s regarding your medical information?
Yeah, pretty fucking bad.
Real bad.
Can we talk about how the day after all the girls are sick, that Sam goes to basketball practice, which is canceled, and her mom comes to pick her up, unbeknownst to Sam, who apparently forgot she was potentially going to get braces that day, which, if basketball hadn't been canceled, Mom would have shown up and she would have missed her dentist appointment.
That's right.
And it was purely...
I totally forgot about the brace subplot.
It was purely a thing to stop her from finding the crystal meth woman that day.
Can we talk about the fact that she was like, I don't think I need braces, and then the mom was like, well, we'll just get you a retainer. Like, your grill is fucked, girl. Like, there was a foregone conclusion that her grill was fucked.
Yes. And also, can we just talk about the fact that Judith, I lost my train of thought.
Agrees to get braces too.
Yes. Throws herself into the orthodont.
And also on the braces talk, can we talk about how apparently she found out after her appointment that she would only be wearing braces for 6 months?
What the heck kind of braces are those?
What kind of braces do you only
Fake
wear for
braces.
6 months? You wear for like
Bullshit
2 to 3
braces.
years like minimum.
I had like 5 years of braces, man. And my teeth are still fucked up because I didn't wear my retainer.
Wow.
Oh,
We've
Danielle.
learned our lesson.
Can we talk about that there is
yeah.
one sport for some reason, inexplicably, Sam is good at? Ping pong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ping pong.
they play in the basement that has a ceiling which is so low that the ball will occasionally hit it.
Which means that they're playing on a table that is nearly touching the ceiling.
So really, it's not a basement. It's just a hole in the backyard that they climb into.
To play ping pong.
To play ping
it's
pong.
the ping pong
It's
hole.
the ping pong.
Thank you for joining us for Can We Talk About It, the part of the show where we go over all of the buck wild bullshit that was in this book that we couldn't explain.
And I challenge anyone out there to make a wish that is foolproof.
Yeah, Smarty Bumps. Leave a comment as to what your wish would be.
And how you would not...
Exactly how you would word it with the question of, how do you get good at basketball?
Yeah. And also, if you can't leave a comment where you're listening, email us.
Yeah.
Or Geesebumps Pod.
geesebumspod@gmail.com.
I think, have we come as far as we can?
I think we've really actually like cracked this book pretty wide open. Like,
I did have further analysis about what the symbolism each wish was, but each wish was
We'll save that for...
bonus.
Sure. Or a real Goosebumps podcast.
Bonus content.
a whole other podcast.
Oh, so I was going to ask you guys that if people give us a 5-star review, that RL will shout them out. Like,
If you would like one of our renditions of R.L. Stine and not the man himself, please don't bother him. I would really hate for him to, because the truth of the matter is we really love reading Goosebumps and talking about it, and I would really hate it for him to find our podcast because you bothered him too much, and then now we can't do it anymore.
Just like what happened with William Shatner and Red Letter Media.
Yeah, just like what happened with that.
because we love Goosebumps. We love R.L. Stine.
I'm not wasting my time reading these. I
No,
do
we
find
enjoy
great
them.
enjoyment reading these books again.
We just like to give shit.
Yeah.
In a loving...
But if you would like our renditions of R.L. Stine to shout you out, just leave a comment and give a 5-star review on iTunes or whatever podcatcher. If we see it, we'll do our best.
And if the name you use is something we cannot say on air,
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
please.
But we'll appreciate the support regardless. The next episode of our show is going to be coming out on October 13th, the spookiest day of the year, and we're going to be reading Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. Goosebumps 34.
Hit us up on Instagram, we're Geesebumps_pod. Hit us up on Twitter, Geesebumps_pod. And tell your friends.
Thank you to the band Dog Party for the use of our theme song, Bad Dream, off the album Hit and Run. Great song, great band, great album. Check them out at dogpartylive.com and dogparty.bandcamp.com.
Are we going to read the last passage of this
I
book?
do think somebody, possibly a bird person,
Yeah.
should read the final passage. The Rockabilly Legs' finest novel, Be Careful What You Wish For.
May have to go up a bit to give context to the final bit.
This is after the end of our story where Samantha has wished for Clarissa to have never met her and instead wished for Clarissa to have met Judith.
Thinking that Judith will then be as much of a dipshit as she was.
The in her mind, ultimate revenge.
As she says.
Never learned a thing.
And so Danielle, if you could please read for us the final passage.
Chuckling to myself, I strained to hear what they were saying. I was dying to know what Judith would wish for. I'm pretty sure I heard Judith say, "Bird, why don't you fly away?" But that didn't make any sense. I was so happy, so deliriously happy. I was free, totally free. I suddenly felt so different, lighter, happier. Let Judith have her wishes, I thought gleefully. Let her see what it's like. Tilting my head, I saw a juicy brown earthworm poke its head up from the ground. All of a sudden, I was feeling pretty hungry. I jabbed my head forward and caught the end of the worm. Then I ate it. Very tasty. I fluttered my wings, testing the wind. Then I took off, flying low over the woods. The cool breeze felt so refreshing against my feathers. As I fluttered my wings harder, swooping higher into the sky, I glanced down and saw Judith. She was standing beside Clarissa. Judith stared up at me from the ground, and I guess she got her first wish because she had the biggest smile on her asshole face. That is a lot.
She got turned into a bird, y'all.
Became a bird.
And she's happier for it.
I know. She
Happier
seems
as a bird.
pretty, pretty chill. She's
Free as a bird.
free as a
they
bird.
say.
Yep.
I'm JoJo. I have a PhD in English.
I'm Danielle. I have a PhD in English.
I'm Jeff, and I'm afraid of 12-year-olds.
This has been Geesebumps, Did You Mean Goosebumps podcast. And until next time, stay out of the basement.